Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Recipe for Adventure. I'm Freebie and joining me today could be someone different, but it's not. It is Sai. Sai, say hello.
It's good to see you all again.
That is not what I asked you to do. How dare you?
How dare I?
Well, Sai is as audacious as ever. We're going to be working on the theatre today, the Bubbledome, as I've come to call it in my head. But before we do that, as always, we're going to ask a question. That question is, Sai, in all your years of DMing, or as a player even, what is your favorite ongoing gag? Not just through the single game, but like in the meta sense, as it were, that passes from game to game, regardless of the setting, group of players, or whatever. What is your favorite meta, like not meta thing, but like gag or reoccurring thing you've put in, whether it be a theme or a character or just an occurrence?
It's a question.
Mm-hmm.
How high is the tree?
I think I know the origins of this story. Um, and so correct me if I'm wrong. The original person you've asked this to was one of our mutual friends, wears glasses, and he I'm not sure if he actually died, but he almost did, climbing a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the same one? Is that the origins of that?
Yes.
Would you like?
So,
Yep.
Yes. Now I should tell the story so people are not just like, what are they talking about? So,
Context,
had a
everyone.
campaign. Yep, had a campaign. Went to an elven forest as part of it. I described the trees were like, tall and lush, plenty of like greenery. One of the characters, a ranger, climbed the tree. And he went to the top of the tree to scout out the area. And noticed in the distance there was what is referred to as a shambling mound, a sort of sentient grouping of like vines and leaves that's taken on a monstrous form and roams around. And he's like, okay, cool. I'll call down, warn my friends, there's a shambling mound over in the distance. It should be fine. Everyone go this way, get away from it. All good. And then he's like, I ask him, so what do you plan to do? And he says, I plan to run across the treetops. I'm like, okay. Not climbing down first? Like, nah, might take too long. The thing's close. It might get to me if I try to climb down. I'm like, okay, sure. Roll it. He goes to try to run across the treetops and immediately rolls a 1. That means he's going to fall out of the tree. And so I then asked, how high is the tree? Like, how high up the tree, how tall do you think the tree is? And he answered, 20 meters. D&D uses feet as its measurement normally. And I'm like, you mean 20 feet? He's like, no, 20 meters. And so I'm like, okay, converting to feet. That's a lot of dice of damage. He slams into the ground, nearly falls unconscious from the damage because of how high up he was. And then the shambling mound rolled high on initiative, reached him in one turn, and hit him, putting him unconscious, and now the party had to save him. And ever since that point, how high is the tree has become a sort of, little meta joke of like, make sure you pay attention to what exactly you say.
Oh, it's fantastic.
That's one that's very much outlived its time.
I mean, it's very relevant regardless.
Yeah.
Sai knows this already, but I wrote a book, 101 Tips and Tricks to Adventuring, and one of the tips and tricks was basically don't climb a tree. There was a bit more to it than that, but it's an allusion to this tale, he told me just now. Beautiful. Anyways, my story is a bit different. So the question was, what's your favorite reoccurring thing? And mine is a NPC. Generally speaking, not very impactful. He's just flavor there. And his name is Stiv. He's a man who has a food cart, and he goes around giving people meat sticks, as in sticks with meat on them. And he won't really reveal what the meat is. He will just tell people, it's meat stick. It's good. Meat stick. And eventually the players, like, through several different campaigns, several different universes, several different characters, finally figured out what he meant by meat stick. Giant worm monsters. It's a stick of meat. That's what they are. Meat sticks. Ah. It was very satisfying. I guess you had to be there. Sai was there for
It was
that
good.
reveal.
It was a good time when we finally got that big reveal.
Just
That was during a big moment as well.
didn't we tell them? I'm pretty sure we told the audiences this was. Oh
Yeah.
no, yeah. I'm pretty sure we told the audiences this was during our Bucks party for a friend who's not in this chat right now, but like we still see him. He's around, all that stuff. But like, yeah, no, it was his wedding, and I was his best man, so I did this for his Bucks party, a D&D game where everybody essentially was hungover drunk, in character, mind you, and they had to figure out where the ring went. And it was a big adventure. It was fantastic. I'm still very proud of that game. But
It was a good game.
Enough about that game. Let's go back to this game. We are now dealing with the theater. So it's a big Bubbledome. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just trying to get the... Oh, never mind. It doesn't want to work the way I was hoping it worked. A new layer. Okay, GIMP does not quite work the way I thought it would. Either way. Holding the shift button to make it, yep. And I'm just going to fill it up with, maybe make it blue. Doesn't really matter, we're just using this as a template. Alright, so this is the theater. If I remember correctly, we made it so, yes. I'm just zooming in on our mini-map right now. There's the stage, the elevated stage, and all the, what do you call it, the chairs and stuff like that. That is the most simplified version.
Yes.
So, okay, another layer. We'll make this grayish. And I just want to stretch you across a bit like that. Yep, okay, and I'm just going to fill it in with a bit of gray. So that's the elevated stage. And I believe, yes, they had the seats curling inwards. So they look something like this. Or so. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make it so that there's 3 sections to this. We could just draw lines for now. Alright, there we go. It's not perfect, but it'll do for now. And I want this to be raised up, as I mentioned. So it's going to have like shading down here to show that it has been raised up. Maybe even make those stairs even. So the actual stage could be up here, and these could all be stairway basically, leading downwards into the crowd, as it were. Obviously there would be bubbles all around and such like that. In fact, actually no. I think we discussed it previously, Si. We want this entire thing to be completely bubble-fied, didn't we?
The idea I think we had initially is that the outer area is not bubbled. The where you put the grey would actually be the roof where the bubble is caught.
Ah, yeah, okay. So the bubble will be there. So,
yep.
Okay.
Because it was basically the idea is that there's the roof over the VIP seats and then the stage.
I want to give this another level, because I just realized that when it comes to theaters, they have the dressing rooms, they have the places where the actors go behind the stage, backstage, and there's not much room for this here. So I'm thinking we have a minimal backstage area here with like a bunch of stairs going downwards and such like that. So this would be a multi-level dungeon, essentially. What do you think?
I don't know if it should be a multi-level dungeon per se. I feel like it's just like a good, like large open area map.
Okay. In that case, we'll just have those extra rooms as flavor then, would you say?
Maybe. Like, on the other hand, something I was considering with this map was the idea of having this map be the one which has like a small hole in it, like near the stage maybe, where there is a tunnel.
Oh.
Because the bandits got to Castrionopolis somehow.
Right, yes.
And the idea that they got to Castrionopolis through Kraken's Pearl.
That's right, I remember now.
Yeah. Because we'd been discussing for a while, like, the bandits got here somehow. And if they get here through this locale, like maybe the stage has had like a small like little tunnel, because it's dwarves, right?
Yeah.
It's like the best way to have a backstage like area is for a little like say little tunnel that would lead to an actual underground room for the people to be dressed in. Per se, rather than like a actual like big building backstage. And that tunnel just happens to have somehow been like stretches all the way to like the other side of the goddamn little ocean now.
So it looked like something like this from the side profile. Okay. I might change the shape of the bubble a bit, just to represent the fact that it is where the bubble, like the air is caught more. There we go. Something like that. Alright, so the theater could be an open field. Do we want to like put a boss, like a mini boss or an encounter in here? Like
I've definitely been thinking about an encounter here. Just because I like the idea of potentially meeting the bandits, some bandits here.
Sure.
And that would be potentially how you find out about the tunnel as well, for a way back.
Just gonna quickly put Hrisfield on the map somewhere. It doesn't have to be too complicated. He just has to exist and he's doing a great job. So he comes in, and with his party, like presumably he has a nice little party somewhere with him, or he just represents the party outright. Where do we want the bandits, and do we want them to do anything here specifically?
Do we want them doing anything specifically? Like, part of me wants them to just be like keeping watch, because that like makes the most sense to me for the time being. It's like they are, keeping watch over everything, making sure like the tunnel is safe and secure for later.
In that case, I think we can make an encounter here, and okay, let me just scroll down, because the dome is like, I can imagine like there's lots of moss grown over it and such like that, so it's a bit hard to see out of it. Where did I put that theater in this document? Here we go, theater. Okay, so upon coming closer to the large glass dome, the bluish reflection of said glass is revealed to be glowing algae that has overgrown and covered the structure. There is no obvious entrance until you come closer, at which point you see the indentations of where the main gate would be. So, okay, so like entering the theater. Oh, actually, no. Actually, yeah, entering the theater is easy enough. Upon opening the main gates, players might notice a few details before even going in. So this is where we do the DC checks. So perception 10, DC 10. The sand at the entrance where the gate swings outwards reveals signs that it has been used recently. Perception DC 15. There's someone already inside the theater. Perception DC 20 is players know how many people are inside. So, if players enter using stealth, DC, let's say 16, because trying to open a door is very difficult to keep quiet, right?
Yep.
We can excuse it by saying like the bandits inside are busy doing some other stuff. Like maybe they could be unpacking cargo, for example.
Supplies or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they wouldn't be paying attention on the front as much. Using DC Stealth DC 16. They will see some rough-looking bandits unloading and organizing crates of cargo. If they fail this stealth check or don't use it, the bandits hide and ready to ambush the players. Perception DC. What's the bandits like stealth check, generally speaking? Or more specifically, what kind of?
It's going to be like +1.
So it's 11
most of the time.
Most of the time,
Yeah.
but like these aren't normal bandits. These are Father Giovanni's bandits. Giovanni's? Wait, is that the name we went with?
I believe I went with Giovanni, yes.
Yes, okay, these are Father Giovanni's ones, and if I remember correctly,
they are a bit more skilled. The bandit spy, as I refer to them of, they have a stealth of +4.
So maybe
that'd be DC 14 to detect.
If I remember correctly, we use their stats as like the elites in the lighthouse, if I remember correctly. The thug. I think we used the thug.
I think the lighthouse used the thug. Yeah,
Yes.
I think we used the thug for that, not the bandit spy.
Oh, okay. We probably want to use the bandit spy then. The thug. Okay, let's go back to All right, yeah, we want to use
the thug should be relatively easy for people to beat now.
All right, we'll use the spy then.
Well, actually, how about we have both?
Okay.
Spies use sneak attack, so having allies helps. So you have thugs for the muscle, the spies to keep a lookout and keep things hidden.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna divide this up. Perception DC 11. Players notice the ambush. And the spy is DC 14. DC 14. Players notice where each bandit is hiding. So it's a difference between being ready for a sneak attack and not being surprised, and knowing exactly where everyone is. So players notice the ambush. They are not subject to a surprise round or sneak attacks, even if they can't target the hidden enemies yet. There we go. Each bandit is hiding. Okay, so bandits attack them. They fight. They die, obviously. Alright, so each bandit has a chain necklace instead of a chain tattoo. Is that what we wanted to go with Giovanni's people? Or did we want to keep them with a tattoo?
I like the chain necklace.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit easier to like hide.
Chain tattoo. Do we want to throw an imp in there to like show the affiliation?
Yeah, I think having an imp. Or do we want to upsize a little bit to our next type of devil?
Oh yeah, okay. What kind of devil are we thinking of?
Well, if I'm thinking of devils, there's the basic kinds, which I think is the plan for us to use.
Yeah.
The next devil up would be the spined devil. So, do I not have the Spined Devil on my list of tokens? That is a right shame. And I don't know how that's even possible.
Are we in new
Because I've
page
used
1?
Spined Devils.
Are we in new page 1? When it comes to Roll20, which map are we looking at right now?
Yeah, we can look at this one for the time being. I'm more surprised that I just don't have access to
A Spine Devil.
a Spined Devil.
Is it spelled with a D at the end of the spined part? Are you sure it's not called a Barbed Devil? No, it's called a Spine Devil.
No. Yeah. Specifically, the Barbed Devil's a lot stronger. Those are like CR. They're challenge rating 5. They're decently strong.
I'm gonna type in
Fine.
Spike Devil, see if there's anything similar I could use, because they like graphically look very similar, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy that I don't just have the stat blocks for one of them. Fine. Spike Devil, Spine Devil.
Spike Devil, Spike Devil. It's all the same to me. I'll even like Spike Demon just for the sake of like finding a token.
Yeah, because they're little guys that fly around. Yeah, I've got various tokens. So I'll throw a token onto the map.
Oh,
But I'll have to get their stat blocks and like add it in personally because for some reason Roll20 doesn't have it, even though I have it.
ooh, he looks like a spiky boy.
Yeah, he is a spiky boy, but he's a spiky boy who can like fly and shoot his spikes at people.
Ooh, I like that.
So he's a little bit more dangerous. But you can kind of see how like an imp would kind of go larger, get spikes, and shoot them at people. It's like a natural like progression.
He looks like Sonic.
Gotta go fast. So let me just get and chuck in his stats because I'm a little sad that it's just not there. Or that he's not just accessible. Like I imagine he might have been accessible if I was the one who made this campaign rather than you.
Oh, that's annoying.
Because I have him in like stats and all that.
So I suppose I should ask.
Yep.
In terms of like demon devil, well, devil hierarchy, what's a
Yeah.
What do you call these guys again? Spiked devil?
Spined devil.
Spined devil. Okay. So
Yep.
Yep.
So these guys are basically the next tier up from imp.
So they're like, would they still be subordinate to the bandits, or would they be like middle managers, essentially?
Yeah, I think it'd be like these guys are more like if an imp is like subservient, then a spine devil would be like an equal.
An equal, so not necessarily. Okay.
Yeah.
What's their what's these guys' stealth checks?
So these guys, we're looking at a stealth check. These guys aren't normally trained in stealth, so it would be just +2.
Okay, DC 12 then.
Yeah, but like, because if you think about imps can be summoned as familiars, and so there's always that little that kind of thought of imps serve. Spine devils, however, they're a little bit stronger. They're still small.
What DC religion check would it be to identify them?
Ooh, so like the imp is like everyone knows imps.
Yeah.
A spine devil though, I think like you would need like a 13 or a 14 to kind of
figure out what it is.
Yeah, figure out what this is.
Spine devil. It's a spined devil. Oh.
Yeah.
So there's a spiky creature among them. Religion DC 13. It's a spine devil. So yeah, these are more like equals. Okay. All right, so they beat everyone. They kill the Spike Devil. It's like, hang on, there's devils working with these guys now. So
Yeah,
did you say they were small, like physically small, or
they,
medium-sized creature?
they are small. They are not as big as a person,
Mm-hmm.
but they are bigger than an imp.
Okay. Are you working on his character sheet now?
Yeah, I'm working on his character sheet right now.
Hmm. Okay. So
Because yeah,
while you
it's a
work
Roll20
on
has a lot of the stats, but it doesn't quite have everything,
everything,
unfortunately. So
okay. While working on that, I'm gonna
yeah,
put out the loot and such like that. The cargo. Ooh. The cargo includes. Actually, I want to make these investigation checks. Upon beating the devil, which disappears on death, and each bandit, the players can now investigate the area. So, investigation DC 10 would be each bandit has a chain necklace. Let's say investigation DC 1. The cargo has many weapons and some useless bits and pieces. But anyways, investigation DC 15. The bits and pieces in the cargo. Actually, no, not many weapons, but let's just say has 12 crossbows and let's say 120 bolts. So the idea, like, we want to show the players that these bandits were getting ready for something. It's like, why would they have so many crossbows and crossbow bolts, right?
well, and like crossbows are one of the few ranged weapons that realistically work underwater. So
Exactly. So the bits and pieces in the cargo look like they fit together. Into a siege weapon.
I like the idea
Yeah.
that siege weapon, well, they'll bring it in to help deal with Milky White.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking that. So a siege weapon like a ballista.
Yeah, because it's like they might have got a couple of like men like further in,
Mm-hmm.
but they're trying to defend the entrance to their escape route, and they realized, oh, this giant shark that's going around, he's a big problem.
We've got to get rid of them. So like,
Yep.
the players can construct a ballista. 100. Okay, in that case, I'm going to say the cargo has 12 crossbows, 120 bolts, 12 oversized bolts that don't fit the crossbows. Oh, you know what? Not even that. I'm not even going to save that because I'm going to save it for DC 15. So the lining. Okay, wait. What looked like support struts for the crates are, on closer inspection, revealed to be the bolts for the ballista. So it's like they wouldn't even notice these bits and pieces otherwise. But yes, either way, the players will always figure out, hang on, there's crossbows and bolts. So what's the DC for finding the hidden tunnel, would you say?
Hmm. I don't think we'd make it too large.
Maybe DC 10 then?
Yeah, DC 10. Because like maybe one of the bandits was actually like, getting something out of the tunnel at the time.
Mm-mm. Oh, and that... Oh, yeah, well, also
Or like
find
at least it's not actively being hidden at the moment.
a trap door.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just thinking with the ballista, field to be bolts for ballista. Which can be constructed in... Alright, hang on. The DMG, I know, has rules for ballistas and even, like, setting it up, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
I just gotta remember which page it's on. Okay, I'm pretty sure there's siege weaponry in the index somewhere. Siege. It doesn't look like that's the case. Oh, here we go. Siege equipment, page 255. So it's near the latter half of this book. So let's have a look-see. Ballista. Oh, beautiful. It does not say how long it takes to set it up. Okay. We'll just say specifically a ballista which can be constructed in 10 minutes. So basically a short rest. Players can choose to forego the benefits of a short rest to put it together. However, it then remains immobile at this location. Additionally, the party will find what look like support struts for the crates are on close inspection revealed to be bolts for the ballista. Okay, so I'm just going to put in the ballista rules. Insert a little table. It's not letting me put it in for some reason. Insert table, let's try again. There we go. And I'm just gonna make it so it's formatting, more actions, table options. Here we go. Quick layout. No, table style. Here we go. Wrap text. So I can... How do I move this thing around? There we go. Ah, this is what I'm looking for. And I can delete you. Okay, here we go. Ballista. Large object. AC is 15. HP is 50. Immune to poison and psychic, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. A ballista is a massive crossbow that fires heavy bolts. Before it can be fired, it must be loaded and aimed. It takes one action to load the weapon, one action to aim it, and one action to fire it. And bolts ranged there. Ranged weapon attack +6 to hit. Range 120/480 feet. One target hit 16 3d10 piercing damage. So by level 4 they should be about, like, the players on average should have around plus 6 to hit with their stuff by this stage or so, right?
Roughly.
Yeah, like assuming they have like
well,
18 in one of their stats. And
well, level 5 is when they will get +3 to proficiency. So +4, like at +4, people will start having like maybe +6, but +5 is probably still going to be the average. And that's fine.
Yeah, it's just I'm just trying to get the idea that what do you call it? That oh, okay, wait, hang on, left only. Yeah, I'm just trying to have the idea that this ballista is worth using.
I mean, I think it's still worth using regardless.
3 to 10 piercing damage is pretty good. I am gonna add an alternate rule to it. Optional rule. And I think it's something that you mentioned to us for our own game, but like it wasn't ever like specifically ratified or made official, but it's something that you said makes sense. If a player performs the help action, then the player using the ballista can forego the loading and aiming action. How's that sound?
Yeah, no, I don't mind that.
Like I don't think it was exactly that powerful when we did something like that, but it was like something similar if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the idea is like you have a whatchamacallit, you have a team, you have a crew, a loading crew. So yeah, optional rule. If a player performs the help action, then the player using the ballista can forego the loading and aiming action. Okay. Yeah, so it isn't like rules like flavor-wise.
Like technically, I think how it's meant to work is that you have 3 characters all working together to get a ballista to fire every turn. But I think it just being 2 characters working together is fine.
Still makes sense.
Feels a bit more. It feels a bit better than like 3, right?
Because like otherwise you're all dealing like overall dealing 1d10 damage a turn, and that doesn't feel good.
No.
But 2 players working together do 3d10 damage. That feels like it's worth it.
It's not too bad.
It's not too bad at all. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna add. Additionally, players will find what looks like support struts. Yep. If players choose to take a short rest or construct the ballista, then the milky white will turn up, smelling the blood of the bandit corpses left behind, assuming the shark has not yet been slain. Oh. Okay, I will also mention Oh, I should have mentioned in the description. Okay, ambush. Da da da. Stealth check. That is the. Okay. Yep. No, I need to mention stuff about the stage. The stage. There is an air bubble in the top half of the dome. However, only creatures standing on the stage will be tall enough to reach it unless they are large creatures. Okay, wait, hang on. No, I'm going to reword that. So there is an air bubble in the top half of the dome. Large creatures standing upright can reach this bubble and breathe normally. Medium or small creatures need to be standing on the elevated stage to reach this bubble and breathe. What do you think of that? So, like, even though they're on the stage, they're still technically counted as in the water, per se. But then, like, this way they can still breathe. I just want to make it so if when the shark gets in, it can still attack them all and stuff like that.
Yeah, no. That, I think that's a cool idea. I like that. Yeah.
So, like, the shark will smell all the blood in the water and come at them, assuming it's still alive. Like, which it might be at this point. So this is, like, the guaranteed, this is your best way to take down that shark, because you'll have access to a ballista turret, basically, right? Okay, so, alright, I'm going to go back to here, have a look at the Spine Devil. Alright, so AC13. What is their, what do you call it? Their CR anyways.
Spine Devil?
Yeah.
So, I have their sheet ready for you.
Small fiend. Yep.
They're CR2. So they're a bit stronger than, like, the Spy by technicality's sake. But as you can see, they have multiple attacks, but they're not actually physically strong. Oh, and I forgot to actually put their stats in. Go me.
Oh, I was about to say, like, hang on, it's all 10. That doesn't look right.
Across the board. That's just me forgetting in my rush to do it all. Cool. There we go. 10, 15, 12, 11, 14, 8.
Okay.
So they're a bit wise. They got a little bit of perception, but they're mainly like little dexterous little fellows. The most dangerous part about them is probably the tail spine attack. But if you're getting close, they're not too dangerous.
1d4 plus 1d6. Ooh, yeah, that's pretty cool. So they can shoot those, so, like, while they're flying on the dome and such like that. Magic resistance. They can only shoot 12 times, but I guess, like, oh, okay,
that's
so we can
6
attack.
turns of them attacking.
Yeah, I was about to say that's actually that'll be a full fight, proper full fight. So there's no reason why they wouldn't just go for it. They have
and also, this would be the first one which has the whole, like, resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks.
I didn't even notice that, and that aren't silvered. And of course, we previously gave players a silver rapier. Oh, I like that. I think, like, actually no, their most dangerous thing is their melee attack, because, like, the 2 spine attacks, that's 2d4 plus 2d6, whereas the bite and the fork that they use is 2d4 and 2d6 as well. But
Did
Oh,
I
actually,
previously?
no, the
No?
tailspine's more dangerous. Never mind. It is
Yeah.
easier to hit. Never mind.
Yes.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
yes, it can fight in melee, but they're not the most accurate.
Yeah, I didn't even read that part. Oh, this is going to be an interesting fight. I know it's not a boss fight specifically, but it almost feels like
Yeah.
a boss fight. Because,
It,
like,
it, it will be a notable fight.
Oh, you know what?
Is
Hang
it
on.
quite a mini boss?
I mean, it's going to lead to a mini boss because of that ballista. So I'm just going to quickly, hang on. I'm using a mouse to draw, and that's always never a good idea. Okay, so I'm going to put the little turret. So big ballista right here, and of course they have all the cargo boxes on the sides. And of course we had that little tunnel entrance, the trapdoor, I should say. Alrighty. I think that's everything we need to do for the theater for now, and we can mention the secret entrance in the next episode. What do you think, Sai? We'll work on the secret entrance next episode?
I think that'd be a good idea.
Beautiful. Alright, everybody. You know the drill. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Farouk Bewitz signing off saying bye-bye.
Ciao.